Well, good afternoon. My name is Lori Worth, and I'm the Executive Vice President here at the university. We are so excited for today, a day of celebration. So most of you might know that this year the University of Pikeville is celebrating 135 years. Our first graduating class was 1894, and the University of Pikeville has many firsts. Some would call us pioneers and trailblazers in education. So our first graduating class, we had a group of women, which back in 1894 was very unique for the university. Another first for us, developing the optometry college, first in the Commonwealth and very new for our region as well. Our new dental school, the Tanner College of Dental Medicine, the groundbreaking this past week, celebrating a first for our region as well, which we're very excited, and the only school in the Commonwealth to have a 3-year curriculum. Today, we're celebrating a first with a wonderful opportunity for research and continued work supported by the American Heart Association. So we're very excited for this. Congratulations to our faculty who are here today, the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine who is representing, and we've got a lot of faculty in the room. I would like to recognize somebody. I see a board member who's here representing Pikeville Medical Center, the Chief Operating Officer, and a Board of Trustee member. Kansas Justice, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you to Pikeville Medical Center in Kansas for your support. I also see a group of current students, and so I'm very thankful for the students who are here. Would you all please stand and be recognized? Undergraduate health professional students, researchers, thank you all for being here. Thank you. You may be seated. Thanks for being here. And then University of Pikeville staff and faculty, thank you to marketing, public relations folks who have helped organize today's event. We appreciate it. Amy Charles, a big thank you for you as well. I have the privilege of introducing Dr. Burton Webb, the president of the University of Pikeville, who will bring some opening remarks. Dr. Webb.
Well, on behalf of the University of Pikeville and the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome everyone here today for this wonderful occasion where we recognize Dr. Hahn for her work and also for the grant that we'll be receiving from the American Heart Association. For those of you who do not know this, I began my career as a researcher. And I remember how important it was to get those grants. Sometimes they were federal and state, and sometimes they were from private foundations. And wherever the funding comes from, it gives you the opportunity to test those new hypotheses, to be able to bring new truths to light so that you can carry forward with new treatments and new remedies and ways in which we can make the lives of people around us better. We celebrate those things because they are important milestones, as Dr. Worth mentioned. And so we're grateful today to the American Heart Association and to the many other agencies and organizations that have supported this university over the years. But today, I'd like to invite Andrea Uten to come. She's the Executive Director of the American Heart Association in Central and Eastern Kentucky. Andrea, come on up.
Well, good afternoon. Lori, I think you might have read my script because today I was really going to focus on firsts. And, when you started reading, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So I am so excited to be here today and just really honored to be a part of this with all of you in Eastern Kentucky. As introduced, I am Andrea Uden. I'm the Executive Director of the American Heart Association serving Central and Eastern Kentucky. And as a woman who grew up in Lawrence County, Kentucky, being here with you today just brings so much joy to my heart. This year, the American Heart Association has been celebrating 100 years of saving and improving lives. But today is special because today we celebrate a first. The first time an institution in Eastern Kentucky has received funds for scientific research from the American Heart Association. That's a cause for celebration. I want to talk a moment about how this research funding happens and how these types of projects get funded. The American Heart Association nationally funds scientific research across the country each year. These projects are selected from a pool of research applications, all on a national scale. So Dr. Hahn's application at UPIKE was up against many others across the country and was peer-reviewed by other scientists, doctors, and medical professionals who serve as volunteers for the American Heart Association. Some of the best and brightest minds, all making these decisions on behalf of the AHA to uphold the highest levels of scrutiny and standards. The grant we are celebrating today, an American Heart Association's Institutional Research Enhancement Award, is in the amount of $154,000. It was presented to Dr. Hahn and UPIKE as part of our 2024 grant cycle. The research is currently underway and will continue through 2025. The purpose of the Institutional Research Enhancement Award is to support research projects related to cardiovascular diseases and brain health at educational institutions that provide advanced degrees but have not been major recipients of National Institute of Health support. The award supports any part of the full range of basic, clinical, and population research and development. The goals of this program are to support meritorious research, expose students to research, and strengthen the research environment at the institution. As I learned more about this research, it made me so proud of the steps that we are taking at the American Heart Association to ensure that we are working to collaborate and make research opportunities accessible for all. And it is particularly exciting to see these opportunities reaching Eastern Kentucky and benefiting researchers at UPIKE. Since this grant was first awarded in 2017, we have received 518 applications for funding. To date, we have funded 129 of those applications, including Dr. Hahn's proposal. Heart disease is the #1 killer in Kentucky and across the nation, and it's also the #1 killer of women, claiming more lives than all forms of cancer combined and accounting for 1 in every 3 deaths. Dr. Hahn's research is looking for solutions to help provide treatment options to women who are considered high risk for heart disease and stroke. I am so proud to know that her work happening here at UPIKE could have an impact that could positively affect women across the globe. It is so important that the American Heart Association find solutions for women's heart health to save our mothers, our wives, our sisters, our aunts, our daughters, and our friends. 20 years ago, the American Heart Association began a national campaign called Go Red for Women to further build awareness and educate women of all of the signs and symptoms of heart disease and stroke. What started as an awareness-building campaign became a national call to action. We must find solutions specifically for women's heart health. And from that campaign began another program, STEM Goes Red. STEM Goes Red is a program that helps educate high school girls about the many careers and higher education opportunities that exist in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. Over the last 7 years, the AHA of Central and Eastern Kentucky has hosted a number of events impacting more than 1,000 girls, young women in total, to not only provide students with insight into STEM careers, but also access to female leaders from Eastern Kentucky who serve as experts in those fields. I'm often asked why the American Heart Association is interested in encouraging young women to pursue STEM. Women and minorities comprise 70% of college students, but less than 45% of STEM degrees. There are also significant biological differences between men and women, and clinical trials have not always adequately enrolled women or analyzed sex-specific differences in the data. In fact, as of 2020, only 38% of cardiovascular clinical research trial participants are women, which is partly a result of the lack of women in STEM careers. As a healthcare and science nonprofit, we know we need more women in STEM, pursuing research topics to address women's health, women like Dr. Hahn. In 2021, we began a STEM scholarship fund in memory of Carol Barr, a longtime volunteer of the American Heart Association, who lost her life at the young age of 39 to mitral valve prolapse. Carol's friends, family, and husband, Congressman Andy Barr, worked together with our staff to raise funds in her memory, which allowed us to start a STEM scholarship program for girls in Eastern Kentucky. Since the fund's inception in 2022, we have awarded more than $300,000 in scholarships to young women who are pursuing degrees in STEM fields. I am really proud today to say that 2 of our 11 Carol Barr Fund scholarship recipients attend UPIKE, and 1 of our recipients this year attended school at Pike County Central. Taylor Messer, one of our recipients today, She is here today, and I just want to introduce her and say Taylor is a biomedical sciences major here at UPIKE. She plans to attend medical school following her graduation this spring, and she is also a successful collegiate athlete on the UPIKE golf team. So thank you for being here, Taylor. Brooke Neal, our second UPIKE student, is not able to be here today, but she is also pretty incredible in her own right. She is working on a bachelor's degree in biology and an associate's in nursing with plans to be an ICU nurse following graduation. Also want to recognize one more guest with us today, Whitney Youngblood Nelson with the Pikeville Medical Center. Whitney was recognized as the AHA's 2024 Woman of Impact for the entire state of Kentucky, raising the most women of any of our Women of Impact nominees last year in a competition across the state. So thank you, Whitney, for being here. All of these inspirational women, Dr. Hahn, Taylor and Brooke, Whitney, you all are fulfilling the mission of the AHA to create a world of longer, healthier lives and advance hope for everyone, everywhere. I cannot thank you enough for your dedication to science, research, and the people of Eastern Kentucky. Today, as I mentioned at the start of my remarks, we are here to celebrate a first, and it feels a little bit like there's a common thread running through all of it. Eastern Kentuckians doing big things to find solutions to some of our biggest problems. I could not be more honored to be here and to be a part of this, celebrating this first with all of you. So at this time, I would love to present this large check to Dr. Hahn and take a few photos before we hear more about her work.
I guess that's my turn to make a remarks. Thank you, President Webb, and thank you, Provost. I'm so used to call you my Provost, Dr. Word, for your kind support and for creating such a strong and family-like community at UPIKE. And all the students, faculty members, and staff members enjoy, being part of this community, this caring and a loving family community. So we just enjoy this every day. And thank you, Andrea, Executive Director of American Heart Association in Central and Eastern Kentucky. So this is the first time I ever met her in person. I'm so excited. She's the one reached out to me and initiated this process of the celebration. I cannot thank her enough for this, festivity that she initiated, and this is so wonderful opportunity for all of us, and we greatly appreciate your hard work in organizing this event. Thank you, Amy Charles. Where's Amy? Oh, Amy there, and she's the coordinator of public relations. And I also would like to thank you to Dr. Eric. Where is? Oh, he put a lot of work, in the behind the scene and coordinating the whole group of research, different groups of research across campus and also across the region. So, and we never can imagine how much work he put in there, but just without being noticed. And I also would like thank you to my dean, of course, Dean Gingrey, and to my supervisor, um, the Associate Dean of Biomedical Sciences, Dr. Sam. So because of their timely and strong support, and with the very awesome equipment in the lab what we have now, and also the supportive staff team making this research project possible at KaiCom. So I'm very grateful to that. Because what Dr. Sim and our Dean Gingrey did, so that make the KaiCom biomedical research further developed and continue to flourish. I'm very proud of being in this strong research team. And as you all know, collaboration is important for building a strong research environment. And so I want to thank my colleagues. I have such a strong support from my colleagues. And I would like to thank to my close collaborators, Dr. Bao, I think he is here over there, and Dr. Bukhari, Dr. Bukhari, and Dr. Gayer, Nabil Gayer. Yeah, thank you. So they always there whenever there is a need, and sharing their expertise and their good techniques. And last but not least, thank you, my research team members. Without your participation and hard work, there would not have been an American Heart Grant Award. I thank you so much. So first, I would like to thank you to my medical doctor students from class 2026. Yazan, Abraham, Olivia, Vic, and Kushal Nelor for all their hard labor in generating necessary preliminary data for the proposed research project. It was because of their hard work, we had such a solid preliminary data, and that boosted my confidence in putting in a proposal, because then I gained this confidence, okay, it will work because our medical students are just like mature PhD students. When they come to do research, they could pick up research, the technique, very difficult techniques in 1 week and started generating data right away. So that really gave me confidence to put in an application. So that's how it happened to this class 2026 research group in my team. And then I thank you, medical doctor student from class 2027, Disha Patel, Jacob Doman, and Adhir Christian Medina, Connor Hayes. Thank you. And I would like to thank another person, Evan Hawthorne. So he's not here, but he helps out a lot as well. Okay, lastly, my undergrad researcher. These are my proud Ledford scholars. And Seth Howell, Markeisha Sowards, Havana Smith, Wally Geyer, he's here, Erica Worth, you're here, for believing, thank you for believing in me. You know, there are so many mentors you didn't go to, but you came to me and willing to participate in this research. Actually, it's really hard because you're undergrad level, but you just you didn't just give in to difficulty, but you persevere and generate data that can be used for publications and contribute to the new fundings, and I really appreciate that. So while we were working with my research team, sometimes there's so much fun. They would be making some silly mistakes, and then they will know, okay, this looks so bad, and then I will say, that's normal. So you need to make mistake and learn from mistakes, and then improve your technique, and then you contribute. That's how scientists become scientists. And do you think I was like this, mature scientist, when I first touched tubes? So it just so many silly mistakes we can make, but our students just persevered and put in so much time, like hard effort. And they sacrifice their spare time, their weekends, and come to lab and just repeatedly working on the data that's necessary for the project. I really thank you, and it's been such a joy to work with you all. Thank you. And it's time to tell you about a little bit about this project. So this American Heart Funded research project aims to fund an effective prevention and treatment of coronary artery disease for women at high risk of coronary heart disease and stroke. Evidence shows that younger women are protected from cardiovascular disease compared to men of similar age. However, as women age, their natural protection decreases, and their risk of cardiovascular disease rises, unfortunately, and eventually match that of men. Over time, women surpass men in risk. That's not good, making cardiovascular diseases such as heart attack and stroke the leading cause of death among women. Currently, there is no effective remedy for this problem. Aspirin and statin effectively prevent cardiovascular disease in men, but not in women. So this AHA-supported research examines the unique hormonal response mediated by the respective estrogen receptors, thus providing the needed molecular basis for making a new drug to prevent and treat cardiovascular disease in older women who are at high risk. It is a huge opportunity for our team to be involved in the great mission of American Heart Association. If you remember, that is to be part of the relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives. And so our team will be contributing to the cause of lowering the cardiovascular death rate in Eastern Kentucky, in the nation, across the world at large. Thank you all for coming. Your presence is really appreciated, highly valued. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hahn. I'm looking at my academic colleague and partner in the middle of the room, Dr. Marisa Greer, and we often talk about faculty members in colleges and universities across our region and in higher education. And Dr. Hahn and I look around the room, the faculty members who are here, they're doing extensive work in the classroom, in lab, clinical settings, but these are also individuals involved in the community. And so oftentimes, Dr. Hahn, the faculty that you see here, you'll see them interacting with students in the cafeteria within our community. And so I just want to say thank you, not only for the work you're doing with students in lab, Dr. Hahn, but also the work that you do within our community, the campus. You're around and you're involved, and we thank you for that. Appreciate you. Next, Dr. Joe Kingery, the Dean of the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, will bring us a few words. Dr. Kingery.
Thank you, Dr. Worth. All right. Well, good afternoon. What an awesome day this is. As Dr. Worth said, I'm privileged to be the Dean of the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, but I was originally a student of the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, and I graduated a few years ago. But so the school started out in the Armington Science building on the backside of campus, not the nice Cole building that we have now. Not sure they knew exactly what a research lab was. We knew what research was, we just didn't quite do it. And now you look at what we have in terms of the Cole building, which opened in 2012, with the nice research facility that it has, with the amount of faculty that we have doing research projects now, and Dr. Hahn's awesome work with the American Heart Association and receiving that grant. And it's amazing to look at it from having been a student to just sitting in a classroom learning on a day in and day out basis without the research piece, and to see it now as a dean of how much research is going into this place as well as the education itself. And it's amazing. You know, research is very important. It's important, of course, for the growth of knowledge, to find out solutions to problems that we have. It's also important to our students so that they can also learn that process as well, the scientific process, and also be able to help strengthen their applications to residency programs. Now more and more residency programs are trying to figure out how do we discern who we want to take into our program when they graduate medical school. And research is one of those things that really gives them that edge and ability to be able to converse with them on a professional level that helps them to be able to get into doors that they might have not gotten into before. And of course, it helps advance our college across the country and medical schools as how much research is going on. It's important for accreditation, but it's also important for our faculty to develop themselves. So what has been accomplished so far has been amazing. And as I was saying, the Cole building opened in 2012, and when they built the research lab, people walked into the building and said, "Oh, we have a research lab." That was about it. And then in the last 4 to 5 years, it has really taken off in terms of people doing research and seeking it out. And that research lab, as Dr. Sim can attest to, is at max capacity with the amount of stuff that is going on in there and the amount of people using it. So it's just amazing to look around. So Dr. Hahn, congratulations on this. It's truly amazing. I mean, I look over the check and I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome. So fantastic work. We look forward to everything you have over the next couple of years to do on this project, and I know the American Heart Association will be proud of the work that is done. So thank you for everything you do. And Dr. Sim is, as Dr. Hahn said, Associate Dean of Biomedical Sciences. So I would like to introduce her and welcome her up for some closing remarks. Without her support, without her direction, we wouldn't be here today either. So Dr. Sim, thank you. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Hahn and distinguished guests. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to give those closing remarks and say a few good words to everything what's been already said. With Dr. Hahn receiving extramural research grant funding from the American Heart Association, the University of Pikeville and Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine has taken a new step in developing of biomedical research, which is very, very important to our students and also to our institution. So cardiovascular disease, as has been said many times today, is the leading cause of death worldwide. And any effort to develop new treatments or diagnostic approaches or strategies is of paramount importance. So that's hence again Dr. Hahn's important work that is being celebrated today. It is essential also to mention here the university's encouragement of research project development through intramural grant funding. These intramural funds support the development of new ideas, preliminary research, research data that eventually, subsequently, can be meaningful enough to present to extramural agencies and be reviewed by peers of national importance and, of course, being funded, such as those peers who reviewed Dr. Han's grant in the American Heart Association and approved her funding. So Gudrun, I'm very, very proud of your achievements and wish you the continued success in your research, plenty of research papers to be funded, many more applications to be written. Congratulations and job well done. Thank you.
Thank you, and that concludes our celebration. We do have refreshments in the back, so I would just ask that you please stop by and help us celebrate and enjoy, and safe travels back home. Thank you again. Congratulations.